Hey, Jonah Jameson here. Spider-Man, a psychopath wielding powers he has no right to possess, trying to pass himself off as a hero. Well, let me tell you something, kid. You're no hero.
Welcome back, everyone. This will be my full Venom Let There Be Carnage post-credit scene video. There's a bunch of stuff we have to talk about, a bunch of Easter eggs. They just blew the multiverse wide open, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get everything. And obviously, spoiler warning for Venom Let There Be Carnage if you haven't seen the movie yet, because we have to talk about everything that happened and how they completely changed the makeup of Marvel movies as we know them so far. So there's only one actual post-credit scene. This is the big thing everyone's talking about. But at the end of the film, Eddie and Venom wind up eating both Cletus Cassidy and the Carnage symbiote, seemingly killing them, but then they take off to avoid being arrested by Detective Patrick Mulligan for killing Carnage and for being Venom, because during the movie, he's under threat of going to jail himself for being Venom, being found out, and for going around eating criminals as a vigilante. So even though he escapes and is seemingly teleported to another world in the post-credit scene, he's still a fugitive in his original universe. They'll probably address that in more Venom sequels at some point. But the actual post-credit scene begins with he and the Venom symbiote hiding out in a remote, rundown-looking ramshackle hotel room watching a telenovela TV show. Even if you don't speak Spanish, the basic plot of the telenovela references the Venom symbiote having offspring like Carnage and potentially having more offspring like Toxin, Anti-Venom, other symbiotes in the future. The man in the program that they're watching is just surprised to learn that the woman is pregnant, like, what? But then to try and make Eddie understand what the symbiote has been through, bring them closer together, like understand the symbiotes just better in general, Venom offers to show Eddie Brock some of the hive memories of all the symbiotes going back to the Big Bang and extending across the multiverse. That's right. The phrase he says is 80 billion light years of hive knowledge across universes would explode your tiny little brain. The reason why this phrase is such a huge deal is because not only does it reference the hive mind extending across the multiverse, like light years is also a unit of distance, so he's talking about distance across the universe, across multiple universes, but memories going back billions of years, like genetic memory that the symbiotes carry with them, is also a bit of a teaser for Null, the god of the symbiotes, who predates the Big Bang. So just to be clear, this is huge. The symbiotes do have a hive mind in the comics, but they were created by Null. He's a god who came from the void of nothingness, from the chaos that existed before the Big Bang, like Shumagorath is a good example of that. The same place that the Dark Elves came from in Thor the Dark World, like they were born before the universe, before the Big Bang happened. After the Big Bang, after the rise of the Celestials, Null took a piece of his body and fashioned it into a powerful sword called the Necrosword and used it to kill Celestials. In some versions of the comics, he's the one who beheads Jemiah the Analyzer, this Celestial here, who later becomes Nowhere. The Necrosword was effectively the first symbiote, called the Primal Symbiote, and people who bond with it can use it to control massive groups of other symbiotes. It's like they're biologically linked to it like an alpha symbiote. Eventually, the regular symbiotes are born of Null and become their own race, with their own identity, but they still have a hive mind. They rebel against him, trapping him for billions of years, until in the comics, he escapes and seeks to recapture his control of them and take over the universe to return it to the chaos of nothingness from where he came. It's kind of like what the Dark Elves were trying to do during Thor the Dark World, destroy the universe and return everything to chaos. That doesn't confirm that they're going to do Null in the future Venom sequels. It's just meant to be a reference to the origin of the symbiotes and the ancient nature of their race. But when Venom is starting to show Eddie its hive memories, there's this glitching effect that looks exactly like the glitching from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse when the characters traveled between universes. Everything in the room around Eddie starts glitching out. He freaks out, the Venom symbiote freaks out and says that he's not doing it, like the symbiote says, I'm not doing this. So however they're being transported to the main MCU Earth, they're not responsible. I think it has something to do with what Doctor Strange is doing with his spell during Spider-Man No Way Home, blending different universes, different timelines to make people forget about Spider-Man. But when the glitching stops, you can see the room they're in is decorated way nicer. It's in the same location, but there's towels folded into the shapes all around them on the bed, confusing the Venom symbiote. Like, what the hell is this? And instead of the telenovela that they've been watching on the TV, the television in this universe is tuned to a broadcast of J. Jonah Jameson yelling about Spider-Man killing Mysterio, referencing the end of Spider-Man Far From Home.
You are a criminal, a miscreant, a masked marauder, a menace. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
The Venom symbiote comes out and licks the image of Spider-Man on the TV saying, "That guy." Like, we have business, and that's meant to be a big teaser for the Spider-Man Venom movie that they'll eventually do. They end with a funny tag scene of the room's actual occupant from the main MCU universe walking out of the bathroom just saying, "Dude, what the hell are you doing in my room?" And then it slams to black. But now Venom is in the MCU, so that is a very huge deal. If you predicted that that was the way they were going to accomplish this a couple years ago, then pat yourself on the back. There are a lot of you asking, why is Venom suddenly so interested in Spider-Man, having never known about him before? Like, this is the first time it seems like he's seen Spider-Man, even though per the symbiote's own explanation just a few seconds ago that its hive mind extends across the multiverse, across billions of collective years of symbiotes living across all existence. Shouldn't there have been symbiotes inside the main MCU universe at some point that would have learned of the existence of Spider-Man? I feel like you could use the Loki series and He Who Remains King to explain away things like that. Like, obviously this is brand new plot that they didn't plan on 10 years ago when they started the MCU, but because of circumstances in all the Marvel movies and the Sony movies, they're trying to weave that all together now and have it all make sense. So if you feel like everything doesn't completely make sense right now, I think it'll make a little bit more sense after Spider-Man No Way Home. And as for why Venom is suddenly so interested in Spider-Man, I think because he just meant to be pure id, like he just meant to be pure impulse, just like a cat or a little kid just looking around being excited by shiny things. He's just fascinated by what he sees playing out on TV. And as you probably suspected, because Venom has gone all of his movies so far with no Spider-Man symbol from the comics on his chest, this new Spider-Man vs. Venom movie is the opportunity to do that, and to give Tom Holland the symbiote at some point. Although I am kind of holding out hope for a Secret Wars movie where they do a comic book accurate version of Spider-Man getting the symbiote.
Computer, can I transport to this planet the Fantastic Four?
Affirmative.
And there's another who was a big help to me against Carnage and Venom, my friend, Iron Man.
Affirmative.
And there's only one man who can fight the Red Skull, Captain America.
Affirmative.
There's another team of superheroes that I've worked with before. Computer, bring me one of the X-Men.
And just to explain the timeline of when this scene is taking place relative to the timeline of Spider-Man No Way Home. So the clip of J. Jonah Jameson, I think, is a clue, because it's not actually the same exact scene from the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. It's a slightly different clip, like it's a different broadcast at some point after the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, where he's still yelling about Spider-Man. So because of all the scenes of J. Jonah Jameson yelling about Spider-Man at the beginning of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, I'm going to go ahead and say this Venom post-credit scene is happening somewhere near the very beginning or early part of Spider-Man No Way Home. And maybe there will be some similar type of post-credit scene at the end of No Way Home or a moment during the movie that acknowledges Venom from the MCU side of things. Like they did it in a Venom movie, now they have to do it in a Spider-Man movie. But I don't think Venom is going to be a huge character in No Way Home or anything like that. And here's the thing about Sony using the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse visual style of him traveling between universes. That also might have something to do with the Madam Web movie that Sony was developing a while ago. Like the Sony people have been very open about wanting to do live-action Spider-Verse stuff. They're kind of doing it already during Spider-Man No Way Home because of the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire stuff going on in the movie. But the way that Tom Hardy and Andy Serkis have explained the Spider-Man Venom crossover is that they'll do it as a separate movie, like it won't be Spider-Man 4 or Venom 3. They still plan on continuing Venom solo movies with other villains, and Sony and Marvel want to keep making Spider-Man solo movies in the MCU with other new threats. But the Sony president said that a lot of how these movies will all work between universes in their Sinister Six plans for another spin-off franchise will make sense after Spider-Man No Way Home. And we already know how they're using the Doctor Strange spell, invoking the multiverse, combining elements from other universes, which is where we get to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man characters. So really in the post-credit scene here, they're just sweeping the Venom character up in all that stuff. But if they issue any extra explainers or announcements about their plans for Spider-Man and Venom movies, I'll make a new video about it. We'll be talking about this in the multiverse a lot as we get more Spider-Man No Way Home trailers and Doctor Strange 2 trailers. Where if you can believe it, as crazy as Spider-Man No Way Home seems, Doctor Strange 2 is going to be so much crazier with the multiverse. I'm working on my full Venom Let There Be Carnage movie breakdown and Easter eggs video for the entire movie. That'll post on Friday, so make sure you have alerts enabled for my channel so you don't miss that. And of course, I'll do more videos about Spider-Man and Venom crossing over in the next week or so. My full Marvel What If Episode 9 finale video will also post next Wednesday too. The Hawkeye series will be like the next big thing that's happening too, and I will be doing episode videos for that. If you have any big questions about what's going on in the post-credit scene or twists or anything from the movie, just write it below in the comments and I'll try to address it in my future bonus videos. Everyone click here for my What If Episode 9 finale trailer video, and click here for my full What If Episode 8 Ultron video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.